Global warming my ass. This has been the coldest summer I can remember. It's almost July 1st, although I don't know what the, It's a little warmer here in the woods, but dang, it's down jacket weather. We're gonna go home and do a quick change. And then I think we're gonna go up to the North Beach and look for some shells. Coco's a good shell hunter. Man, this summer is cold, it's breezy. It's July something, I don't know what it is. It's after the 4th of July and it is freezing. I might have to go back and get a jacket. Dang, July 10th and it's cold again. It is just freezing here. We were heading out to go camping and it's just too cold. We're wussies. So we're gonna do something else. I don't think we've seen the sun in weeks, literally in weeks. It's gonna be a cold summer, I guess. Global warming. Oh my God, it is so hot here. Welcome to life in the Pacific Northwest. We had a heat warning a couple of weeks ago that it was gonna be 70 degrees. They put everyone on alert that we were gonna die. We're such wussies up here. Anyways, I wanted to show my ride or die kit, which is my Wixard Works Snagla and my Patagonia, I don't know what it is, fleece. I go out the front door 3 to 5 times a day on my bike, closer to 3, and 3 to 5 times a day with my dog. Every time I go, I take certain things with me because I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for or what I'm doing. And I thought I would share that. And a couple things. This is the Snagla here, and this is the hip belts are tucked away, and this is to put on my handlebars. And if you take this little loop here and this loop here with some volet straps, you can stick it right on the front of your handlebars, and then do the 2 insides. And my vest will go right on the inside of my handlebars. I've got BMX riser bars on both of my bikes. So that's how it goes on the handlebars. This attaches to the handlebars, and then these 2 little straps right there, I just stick a volet and they attach on the back. And that's all I need. And obviously I roll this up nice and tight and it just sits there perfectly. I don't have to have anything around my waist. If I do want to take this off and wear it, which I do often, then this can stretch out and the vest can go right here. And the reason I do this is because I'll walk out the door and it'll be 55 degrees and blowing 30 knots. And an hour later the sun's out and I'm dying. And so I just wanted to kind of show this, and I'm going to do some top views of this. But I wanted to show how it's packed and what I carry in it. And I've got new things in my life that are wonderful. And that's all I need. And obviously I roll this up nice and tight. And if I take that, I don't always take both, but a lot of times I do. And then inside the bag, this is not one of them. This is an old thing. And I don't know, it's made by PNW Components or something. I don't know. It is got the little hex wrenches, and then I don't know what you call this. It's for tubeless tires, which I have. You just kind of smash that thing through, and then there's a bacon behind it or whatever. Anyways, the truth is I rarely get flats on tubeless that need attention. They just, in fact, I've never gotten a flat on either of my bikes, ever. That hasn't always been the case. I remember one time I don't know why I was in the freeway. When you're on bike tour, sometimes you just have to ride on the freeway, and I had done like, the previous day on the freeway, I was going from the Hood Canal to the Pacific Coast, and then the next day, I swear, it was blowing 30 knots, torrential downpour. I'm on my Brompton with my 16-inch wheels, and you have to be a mechanical engineer to get the back wheel on and off. And it was mighty and windy and rainy and high-speed traffic and lots of traffic. And I was in my little Brompton. I got 7 flats in the rain. What a nightmare. Anyways, I go tubeless now. And then this thing, I've had this for years. I got this for the Brompton because it had a frame bag that was this big that went in the little Brompton triangle, and I kept a spare tire and this, and I don't know what it is, a 10 millimeter, whatever gets the wheels on up. This can do it, but it can't get the torque spec on it. And so for an emergency, this is great, and I kept it. And now I keep it on my bike because my bikes are so dialed, rarely do I need to do anything, but if I do, this covers anything except for crank work. Honestly, if it's that big of a, in fact, I might even have an adapter that this can go into, and they can get in and tighten my, I think I do, but who cares, whatever. And that brings me to this. I did a ton of research, and there's another company that I hear is really, really good. And I was like, okay, well, they're 125 bucks. I'm going to try this. This is off Amazon. I've been using this for 4 or 5 months. and it is fantastic. You can set, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on here, if I can set it, but you set the desired pressure, and then right there, I think it's, well, I can't read what that says, 85. 18. You set it, you stick it on, and you push start, and it just goes until it's full and it's done. I don't know how many times you can use this because it's never run out of batteries on me. It's kind of a little loud and a little annoying. And they have this terrible strap that can kind of come and it's really hard to bend it. You twist on your valve and you feel like you're stripping everything. This, you just pop on, hold it, and hit the button. It might be a little less efficient. It might leak a gram of air. I don't know. This is rapidly becoming one of my ride or die things. In fact, I don't carry a pump anymore. If I was on bike tour, I would, and I would try not to ever use it if I can keep this thing charged. It's light. I guess I'm just getting really lazy and don't want to pump up my tires. Plus, in this hip pack, my pump's like this big. It's a little Enzine or who, I don't know what they are. Anyways, it is what it is. It goes everywhere I go. You just it just has a thing right there. You just jank it on, plus, minus, and it's nice to know, or at least think you know exactly how many pounds you have. So this morning I took the Karate Monkey. We went somewhere and I was doing, I want to say 18 on the back tire and 16 on the front. I'm not sure. And then on the Neutrino, where I was just riding right now, I'm doing about 30 on the back and 28 on the front. I know, but I'm playing around a lot and trying to really find the sweet spot in these bikes. This is so much more accurate than my dumb pump. And I did not trust this at all when I got it. I think this was like $50 on Amazon. I absolutely trust this. The only reason why I would bring a secondary pump on bike tour is in case I lose power. I have a 10,000 milliamp battery I take. Because my phone was stolen when I was in a refugee camp in a huge fire. They saved us. I won't get into it. Someone stole my iPhone and I'm still pissed about it when I had it charging. So now I bring I charge a battery, I charge that, and then do the phone. But if this was to die, a lot of times I'll go off road for several days when I'm like riding the coast or something. I find trails and kind of get lost. I want to have something mechanical, but I still, instead of just leaving this home doing the mechanical pump, I'm just getting lazy. And this is so fun to just smash it on and go. I don't know. I enjoy it. But again, I don't really get flats anymore with tubeless. And then you can see this is the waterproof insert in here. And there's so much stuff in this. And then, again, PNW, this is one of many Smart Wool, just an underlayer. And the weather changes so fast around here. This regulates so fast. If I'm out riding, I can go down to 30 easily with these two things on, unless it's pouring rain or the wind is just cutting through me. And then inside the bag, I have, a lot of times I won't roll this, I'll just stuff it in and make it fit nice and tightly. But that is Smart Wool. It's not paper thin, but it's thin enough that it breathes really nicely. And this is so comfortable and keeps me so warm. I worked outside for like 3 months this winter, and this is more or less all I wore the whole time. And I'm always cold, and I was totally fine. And then just a ton of snacks and dumb stuff. And then someday I'm gonna talk about this knife. This is, the tragedy on this is that he sells these giant sheaths that literally are twice as big and weigh more than the knife. In fact, I'm gonna get a scale and weigh these and find out. All right, and let's go to ounces since we're in America. The knife is 2 ounces, and I lied, 1.7. So it's almost twice as much. And it's a nice case, but I just don't trust, like if I had it, if I hit something, if I was wearing it in my belt, that this wouldn't knock out. And maybe I could wet form this or something, I don't know. I don't mind carrying it in my bag, I really don't. And so I do carry it in the bag. This is an Eyes by Nuge Wicket, and it's a 3-finger, but it really locks in. And I'll find some receipts on here. This thing is sharper than crap, and I use it all the time. I use it to make kindling for firewood or whatever. It's light, it's nitro, so it's pretty rust proof, and it's super sharp, and it's just a teeny little. And this is if you have too much money and you've got like an Azula or the smaller version. This is for dumb people. That I think the Azula is like $39 and this is a couple hundred, but it's such a nice knife. I wanted the orange handle and I tried, and then they finally got it in stock, and this is G10, and I'm not a huge fan of G10, but I like the G10 orange. And I was like, I'm done buying stuff for the year. So I didn't get it, and now it's gone forever. But this is the sheath, and it came with, I don't know about these things. This is it kind of snaps in your pocket. It's pocket carry. It's really hard to get out. I put this on because the one that it came with is so tight that I'm afraid it's just going to rip holes through my pants when I try and get it off. And then I got a belt one for horizontal carry. It seems like it's not loose, but it's not tight enough that I want to run around like having it like this in my belt and worry about losing this for what it costs. So I mostly just leave it in my bag, but this is definitely a ride or die. And then of course the Wixard Works, which I need to dump it out. I have so much stuff in it. This bag in both forms, and the front bag that I just attached to my bike, and then with the hip packs, is now my most prized possession. It's flawless. It's perfectly comfortable. I will do a 90-day review. I already kind of did an introduction on it, and it is just the most amazing thing in the world. And then whatever else is in here is just stuff that lives with me. Food, snacky fruits. I've trimmed down my bike kit to a hose valve, valve stems, and tire things. And my first aid kit is a wound management and a couple Band-Aids. I don't take things that I don't use. Contact solution, I have to wear special sunglasses when I ride, and they're like ski goggles. They have foam on them, and then keeps my contacts from blowing out, but also my eyeballs get infections from my motorcycle days. I would always get infections in my eyes from going too fast from the wind. Anyway, so I always have that for my contacts, maybe not anymore. And just a little bit of stuff, and I usually carry about 4 of those, and some of this if I bonk. Tire levers, which hopefully I'll never need. And then I have some gaff tape, which doesn't really stick if I need to do stuff. And I should probably have a little bit more gaff tape in here. I have a new bag. I had that little thing that I showed on here, and I got one that's just a smidge smaller just because I'm a geek, and I'm going to see what I can put in that. So that's the entire kit. And if I'm going to get on my bike right now and run away from home, this is really all I need is some sugar, something to clean my wounds, 2 Band-Aids, a micro tool, a micro knife. Why is my dog? I wonder if I should be concerned. She's out on her own exploring. That's the entire kit that I carry. And if I was in a plane crash, this is what I'd want. This right here will get me. I'd want to not be in a plane crash. But if I was stranded on a desert island, this will get me through, and I can do everything I need with this knife, and it's grippy enough I wouldn't want to do any real work with it, but it'll get the job done. And everything else here is my ride or die kit. Later, Gators. And I find that the older I get, the less tolerant I am for overheating, and so I try and wear as little as humanly possible and breathe as much as possible. And again, I just got back from a ride like 10 or 15 minutes ago. I left and I was practically shivering, and by the time I came back, I thought I was going to have a heat stroke. The weather changed that fast. The wind stopped blowing just for half an hour, and the sun came out, and that's all it takes. And so I'm trying not to do any kind of camelback or anything that goes on my back, but I need hydration. Again, as I get older, I just need more water. I can't, I could go out and I could run 18 miles and bring one little like 12-ounce bottle of water. I would die now if I did that. I need a gallon. So anyway, so this little hip pack does everything. I've got snacks. I've got little fix-it things for my bike. I could get on this and ride indefinitely. And that's kind of one of the earlier bike trips I did, and one of my favorite things is I took my fixed gear, whatever, Kona paddy wagon flew to San Francisco. I had it in a box, and I just took it out of the box and put the box, I smashed it all up and cut it into little manageable pieces and put it behind the trash can. Put it in fixed gear, rode through San Francisco. When I got to, I want to say Half Moon Bay, but it was way before that, I put it into single speed mode once the hell started. And I just cruised and did a wine taste all the way back to Santa Monica to my front door. It was amazing. The only thing I brought in that, one water bottle, one sweatshirt tied around my waist, my credit card, and a little thing under my bike seat for fixing my tires. I didn't get a flat on that. I was 700C, and yeah, 700C, super skinny tires. I don't think I got a flat the whole way. If I did, I don't remember it. Also, I was wine tasting the whole way, so I was having kind of a good time. Maybe I've just forgotten about it. But this is the bag. That's all you need is stuff this with your stuff, get in your bike and ride. And that's what I'm gonna go do right now, because the tourists, I think, are starting to mellow out a little bit and take their afternoon naps. And I wanna get out before it gets too crowded again.